The gentleman from Virginia, and yield to our friend from New York, Mr. Espaillat, for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Director Young. As an appropriator, I am keenly aware of your great work on this side of Congress and just admire your efforts and your commitment to our nation. Director Young, you've seen an effort here to weaponize immigration. Once again, as it happens every 4 years, when we peddle some narrative to try to get votes and get reelected. And yet, this is the Budget Committee. But I'll share with you some statements that we may have forgotten, but I think that we will all remember. I believe in the idea of amnesty for those that have put down roots and live here. 1984, Ronald Reagan. We must bring undocumented workers already in the country out of the shadows. George W. Bush. George Bush. And George W. Bush proposed and signed into law a guest worker program in his efforts to address immigration. So immigration is not a new thing. It's been dragging along for decades. And this House has failed in its duties to address comprehensive immigration reform. So to try to say that it is something that just happened now under the Biden administration is an effort to weaponize it politically. And they do that because they don't want to talk about daycare and child care. They do that, Director Young, because the president's budget includes a significant funding level for child care, a new program which for families making under $200,000 a year would guarantee affordable, high-quality daycare. Daycare has become really expensive. In my district, it could be $700. It could be half or even at the levels of rent every month. So moms that want to get back to the workforce can't do it because it's so expensive, but yet the president has addressed that in his budget. And the other side fails to want to engage in this discussion. They want to talk about immigration because they're weaponizing it, once again, as they do every 4 years. And so I want to ask you, Director Young, how important is this initiative that the president has included in his budget, funding child care for working families?
If anyone has sent a child to child care in the last 10 years, I'm in the middle of it now. It is unaffordable. I don't have the words to quite outdo unaffordable, but if I had, I would use that. And we have a proposal that says some families wouldn't pay more than $10 a day for affordable quality child care. In addition, on the Appropriations Committee you serve and Mr. Klein serve, there is a bipartisan program, the Child Grant Block Program, Head Start, which I know retains bipartisan support, would see $1 billion increase, but to really affect the affordability crisis, we have to do something like the president's mandatory proposal so that families are not burdened, frankly, with child care and left with decisions where they have to leave their children in places that are not of quality and that they cannot enter the workforce because of those decisions.
Another issue that they don't want to talk about, and they want to weaponize immigration, Director Young, is included in this budget, and that's parity for Head Start staff and teachers. So important for Head Start, the longest surviving program since the 60s, and it literally gives kids a head start. So talk to me about pay parity. How important is that?
Well, we can't recruit the teachers we need for Head Start because of pay constraints. They're often not paid what a teacher could get going to a public kindergarten, and we want quality teachers who have the certifications in Head Start as we do in public school. So we need to ensure that we have the funding necessary to recruit quality certified teachers to teach our kids, to give them a head start. But if we don't get funding to cover the salaries, we're going to lose slots. So we have to make sure we fund this teacher proposal as well as providing enough to keep the slots. Head Start's only covering about 650,000 kids now. It used to be much higher than that. And I'm very worried that we don't keep up and will continue to lose slots in that very critical program in communities like the one I'm from.
Thank you. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.